This is the application for the Navimow i210 all-wheel drive. Let's take a look at what we have on the front page here. When we first open up our application, we're greeted with our map. This is going to show you individual zones that you may have, as well as no-go zones and the location of your robot. In the upper right-hand corner, these are going to be any notifications that your robot has sent you. In this case, I have one on time complete, went back to charge. Red dot means that it has not been read. So if you select that, it will open it up and show you what's going on. You can also filter things by important, work status, and then you have device or system notifications. And again, in the upper right-hand corner here, you do have a filter, which will allow you to mark all as read, confirm, or cancel, which we're gonna cancel out. And then we have our settings for our notifications. What would we like to see? Push notification, a home screen, or in-app dot. And then you have the same thing for important notifications. How do you wanna see that? So there's a lot of customization, even with just how you get notified of what's going on with your Navimow. Coming back to our map right here, you can see that says it's ready to mow. It's currently in its parked state. I can, if I select these two dots over here, bring up more for this to do. And then I can compact it just like that, swipe things down. I'm gonna bring up everything. First and foremost, over here on the right-hand side, this is going to be our map. So it's asking me if I want a map. You do have to make sure that you are in Bluetooth mode. From here, we can either add more or I can edit. If I add more, that's gonna let me select right here what we want to do. Do we want to create a new boundary? So that's going to be a new location, a new off limits area, a channel. If I have a space between two different zones, vision fence off zone, meaning it won't use the cameras in that area. Then you have your doodle, which will allow you to create patterns, which I would not do myself, but it's there if you want. You've got your Mowgate channel, which again, any of these, if you click on it, it will kind of walk you through what it is. And if I select edit, I have to first select an area that I wish to edit. It highlights it. I select edit, and then I can adjust the sizing. I can split it. I can merge two together. And then here we have mow direction. So if there's a specific way that I want this to mow, it's walking me through how that would actually be calibrated. And then I can adjust which way I want this to go. So default, or do north to south, east to west, A to B, you can do so. This is if you wanted to kind of mow in that direction every time instead of having it alternate. So in my case, I don't want to do that. We come down, we have rename, and then we have our edge mowing. Mow along the boundary, mow around the off limits island. This is like what it's going to do. So if you don't want it to do either of those actions, you can simply turn those off for a specific area. And we're gonna get out of there and we're gonna come back to our main page. Just under that, we have our robot controls. I cannot get close enough to this right now, so I'll insert something that shows you what this will allow you to do, which is pretty much drive the robot around, but also allow you to cut using the mower. I do wish that they offered a dual control instead of just the single joystick toggle. Make it a little easier to steer. As I mentioned before, there is our parked, Wi-Fi signal, Bluetooth connectivity, percent charge. Over here, we have our scenario modes. We have holiday and sleep. If you tap on one, it will activate it. And if you want to see what's included with holiday mode, these are the settings that it will have. Likewise for sleep, here are the settings that it will have. To the right of that, we have our enable and disable child lock. So when it's enabled, buttons on the top of the mower will not be able to work. You'll need to use the app pin in order to unlock it. Now, if we wanted to, we can see I've done 1,600 square feet of mowing so far this week. If I select mow now, I can select a zone and then send it out. I can also select clear progress and start from scratch. So let's say I had to bring my mower back for whatever reason, I would simply select there and then the mower would start over instead of going back out to finish what it might have done. I'm going to start the mower right now just to give you an idea visually what that looks like on the front page there. You can see it outlines the zone that we want. You will also notice that the zone's color is slightly lighter than the rest. That's going to be the active zone. It's going to go over there and it's going to do 2 edge trimmings and then start going up and down. And we'll come back and show you what that looks like a little later. You can see now it is one-time mowing. It's letting us know exactly what it's doing there. I can select stop, which will pause it right where it is. I can also send it back home if I wanted to. But those are our controls for our mower. Let's come up to our settings. Right here at the top, we have our mow schedule. Right now, I don't have a schedule set up. I've just been sending it out manually, but we can set it up. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we can select what we want to do. So add a schedule, so a work time between this time and this time, what zones, and then confirm. And then you could select which dates. You also have mowing cycle. If mowing cycle is disabled, when the mower reaches 100% progress in a specific zone, the mower will stop mowing and return to the charge station, even if the scheduled end time has not yet happened. So if it's done what it needs to do, it's going to go back and charge. We have our work modes. Standard out of the box is going to be what you get. That's going to give you your most effective speed as well as cut quality. I did this for roughly an 800 square foot cut and was done in an hour and left me with 75% battery. If you go up to precision mowing, that's going to be overlapping, take longer to do things. And when I tested it, it left me with 74% battery, but took 2 hours to do the same lawn. If we come over to our efficient, that's going to be much speedier. Same size lawn, 30 minutes, and left me with 84% battery. Test them out to figure out which one works best for you. Mowing at night, you have a toggle on or off, so that's allowed to mow at night or don't. Map management, we saw that on the front page. Mowing reports, this is going to be what the robot has done, either the day, the week, the month. As of filming the application portion, I have run this mower for a total of 23 hours. And you can see right here, today, I've mowed zone 3 and 2 one time for a total of 1,600 square feet. It even shows you a little graph here, what times of day, and then how long you actually have cut for. And if you come over to the week, you start to get an idea of what you've done. So the days that you've cut, hours, come over to the month, you're going to see the same thing. Now here I can see all of my zones and you could see an idea of what I've been up to. And you can change it. So if you want to check past months, you can do that. Coming down, we have our advanced features. We have our EFLS and RTK. And right here we have our camera assisted positioning on or off, and then positioning mode, the network RTK. Again, this is going to be a toggle on and off. If you use the local, you will need to set up the stick with the localized RTK. Vision fence, in here we have our channel and obstacle avoidance and our animal friendly on or off. This is going to be to avoid animals. This one's going to be to help it navigate between locations that might not be connected or overlapping like I had. We have our weather adaptive, rain, snow, hot, frost, and strong winds. In my case, you turn on rain. You want to adjust the sensitivity, so light rain to moderate to drizzle. And then what do you want to happen? Delay mow task, delay mowing, or continue to mow. So if you delay it, it will come back and pick it up when you tell it to for the wait time. So wait 30 minutes, or in my case, I probably would wait 3 hours just to let things dry out if I want to send that back out there. Just know you're going to have similar for things like snow. In this case, it's delayed a whole day for the snow. Hot, you got turn that on and off. And then what is your maximum temperature? So how hot do you want it to be able to continue working? 95 is the default, but depending on where you live, you might need to up that. Frost, if it detects it, it won't mow until, in my case, I have it set for 10 a.m. And then strong winds, I don't necessarily get strong winds by me, so I have this turned off. But if I turn this on, it will prevent the mower from going out if strong winds are detected. Your traction control system right here will allow you to, just like your car, have traction control to help the robot get through wet grass, thick grass, mud, rainwater. I just leave it on all the time because why not? It doesn't actually utilize that much more battery. Coming down, we have our smart home integration. We have Alexa and Google Assistant if you want to use those devices to send your Navimow out to mow. Coming down to our safety features, we have our anti-theft. We've got our mow lift alarm on or off, our geofence alarm on or off, or locate my mower. It will bring it up on a map, letting you know where your mower is. For our lift alarm, you can toggle those on and off. When enabled, you will have to enter the PIN code in order for it to turn off. Same thing with our geofence alarm. Geofence will show you a map and you can select a radius as to when things will go off. You have device lock, turn on and off your child lock, turn on and off your safety lock, and then reset your PIN all from here. Coming down, we have our parts and maintenance. Right here you can see I have 70% left on my blade and chassis before it needs cleaning and replacing. And if I select any one of these, it will kind of give you a tutorial on how to clean it, but also you can buy what you need right from the app. Here we have our satellite signal analyzer. Coming into our satellite distribution map, we're going to select Analyze, and we're going to give that a moment, and then it's going to populate this with the satellites to kind of give you an idea. You've got poor, excellent, poor, and then if you ever need to know more, just click on Learn, and it's going to tell you what you have access to. Same thing with acquisition time. If I select Analyze, it's going to tell us how long it takes for a satellite signal to ping the robot and then ping back, letting us know, hey, maybe you don't have the best connection speed. So here we go, it's analyzing. We'll give that a moment, and there you can see, I have fast. So this means my location is highly reliable. Coming back, relocate charging station, and for whatever reason you need to either change the location of the charge base or the RTK sensor, you should come in here and make sure that you let it know that you're doing that before you actually do. Moving on, we have our toolbox. If your mower encounters any sort of malfunction, you can kind of come in here and figure out what's going on, or it will walk you through the steps of what you need to do next. Moving on, we have my device. I have my network. It's showing me that I am currently utilizing the 4G. I am not on Wi-Fi at the moment because it's a little further out. This is the 4G service that came with my device. You can see I have a year of service for free. Select that. It will show me information that I want to not put out there. We also have down here auto select Wi-Fi only or 4G only, which is going to be the better connection for you. Software update, come to check and see if you need that. Customization, you can have your lights on or off, and it gives you an example. You can also set your lights to dim or extra dim. I like to have my lights very dim. Sound, I have that turned off, but if we turn that on, you can select voices or just the sound effects. If you select voices, there are different voices that you can choose from. Eco mode, which I recommend turning on, not necessarily because of the energy savings that they state, but rather so that at night, the base station and the robot's lights turn off. Device information, we can rename our device. We've got basic information about our robot. We have basic information about our robot, including serial number, won't show you that. We have our time zone and country, and then user experience program if you want to help Segway with their devices. We have device management. So we have sharing this device. If I select this, I can share this device with somebody else. They will have to have their own Segway Navimow app. Switch or add device, shows the serial number again, sorry, but I can add or switch devices if I have multiples. I also have unbind device, which will allow me to remove this device from my account. And I have battery. This lets us do some things. First being, it's going to show you the percentage of your battery. It's going to show you a charge limit. So if you want to preserve the battery, maybe you lower this from 100% to 90 or 80% to have it stop charging once it gets to that. As for recharge speed, 15 is the default. But again, if you want to try and preserve the battery, you can lower that in order for not as much voltage to be dumped into your battery. Or if you absolutely need to get something done and you're on a time crunch, you can up the voltage and get that battery charged faster. Just don't do that too often. Now that we've come back to our home screen here, we can see the progression. So here we can see the dark for what it's mowed, and then the lighter area here, which means it hasn't mowed it yet. And then we have reconnected to Bluetooth, and we're gonna pause that just to show you what that looks like, and then send to home and hit yes to send it to home, just so you get an idea of what all those buttons look like and what they do. But that has been everything that we can do for the Navimow i210 all-wheel drive in the Navimow app.